Hey guys, welcome back to part 4 of Sonic 1, and we are now at the worst zone of the game. The worst, that's where I don't like the zone at all, and I know plenty of others don't, because this introduces us to one of Sonic's main gimmicks that we like to put in games. Water levels. I didn't mention this about Sonic the Hedgehog yet, but he cannot swim for the life of him, like at all. So, yeah, he can't swim, and he like any other animal or being that isn't aquatic, he can't hold his breath. So I have to constantly do that and grab air bubbles, otherwise I'm gonna run out of air, and running out of air isn't fun. You're gonna get this really traumatic drowning music, and it's just like, oh god, where's the air bubbles? I need air bubbles, and you know. So yeah, and again, as you can see it from the gameplay footage, I'm really slow here, and I'm just like, come on. Okay, alright. And you know, Sonic controls really fun, really well. I really like controlling Sonic in these games because he's pretty fast. He's not unreasonably fast, but he's pretty fast and he gets going quickly. But in zones like this, that's pretty much taken away entirely. By the way, watch out for that because those are death traps. Some platforms, when you stand on them, are going to keep rising. And by the way, here's the drowning music. I would show it off, but I don't like drowning, so yeah. But some platforms are kind of death traps where you stand on them and they're going to immediately rise up, and they're most likely going to be rising into some spikes, or if not spikes, just a wall that'll crush you or a ceiling that'll crush you, so just get off. When you see a platform and it's rising like that, just get off. And I don't like how slow this is. It's pretty slow. And again, the design of this, I don't like that, because that usually first timers are going to get crushed by that teeter totter taking them up. The platform is just moving them up, so just get out of the way because that'll crush you. And again, I test played this earlier, so I don't get surprised because I haven't played this in forever. And it's just tedious and just not fun, and it's easy to die here. And I'm getting, like, the boss is actually pretty tricky. We'll get to him at the end of the part, but drowning music, not fun. But the boss isn't really that easy, and well, if you die at the boss the first time going through, you're going to be put in a pretty tricky situation where, again, I mentioned this last part, you're not going to have any rings, so, you know, you're going to have a shield, but that's it. If you get hit once, get hit again, and you're dead. But yeah, the gimmick, like, as you see, sometimes you're going to wait for the water. The water rises and falls, or like ascends and descends. So, you know, sometimes you want to ascend so you can carry a platform, so you can jump on the platform and get to where you need to go. By the way, I think these are Orbinauts, or Spike Orbinauts, something like that. I don't know what they're called, but they just rotate the spikes, and when they see you, they're gonna shoot the spikes at you, so careful. After they shoot all 4 spikes, they're pretty much harmless though, so jump into them, and that's that. But like right here, the water's gonna come up, and it's gonna lift the platform. If you're standing on the platform, well, you're gonna probably get crushed, so you know, don't be standing on the platform when the water comes knocking. And yeah, I just don't like this really slow platforming where I'm avoiding these spikes, trident type spikes, but while the platforms are, well, I'm trying to platform and avoiding the spikes, and Sonic's pretty slow, and I gotta be quick because I don't want to drown, and not the most fun zone. And easily the longest level so far. Like, we've been here for 4 minutes, and that's when I know what I'm doing, so yeah, a lot of people don't like this zone, so bit of a negative part, I guess. But yeah. So in terms of the aesthetic, I guess this is kind of like a natural zone, the natural area of the game, like with these kind of waterfalls and stuff. I don't think Eggman made this and stuff, so this is, I guess being here would be beautiful. I'd like to be here, like in person, and yeah, I can swim, so I'll go swimming here, and why not? It could be fun. I could do without all the death traps and enemies, but you know, other than that, but I think it'll be a pretty fun trip, you know. But for Sonic, no, this isn't fun at all. I bet Sonic's not having a good time at all here. I bet Sonic has so much anxiety being underwater, and it's not fun for him at all, so Again, you gotta platform slowly, time your movement slowly, waiting for the air bubbles, so... Yeah. I'm getting to the point where I'm running out of stuff to talk about because I pretty much covered the basic mechanics of the game. And you know, every zone is kind of similar in a sense. Like, this is easily the slowest zone of the game. Slower than Marble, slower than Green Hill, obviously, slower than Spring Yard, and slower than the upcoming zones. This is Zone 4, so we're almost done the game at this point, so, you know, that's good at least. But, you know, a lot of it is just, I don't like this zone. A lot of it is just slow underwater platforming. Future zones, future water zones, because yeah, they're gonna keep doing water zones, don't worry, those are not going anywhere, so if you enjoy those, hooray, I guess. But a good thing about the future water zones is the design. Like, they design it well enough to where if you're good at the level, if you're taking the high roads, and not missing your platforms and not falling and stuff, you can avoid, by the way, Duck here, I'm just waiting for him to finish his attack, and then, yeah, screw you, buddy. See, he's pretty much harmless. But anyway, in future games, they let you skip the water entirely in some levels, to where if you're platforming good, if you know what you're doing, you know, you can skip the water. You don't have to be in water. You don't have to be a slow Sonic. By the way, not good level design. If you stay on that, it'll crush you, so get out of there. But yeah, so future levels are definitely better than this. And actually, to compliment this level, not a compliment really, but to say something kind of positive about it, I don't think this is the worst water level in, like, gaming ever. I think it's definitely, like, the worst water level in Sonic games. Oh god, that was close, yeah. That was really close, but I think it's definitely the slowest and most tedious water level in Sonic. Like, I think the future games definitely get water levels a lot better. But no, I've played worse water levels. Like, ever played Crash Bandicoot The Wrath of Cortex? That game has water levels where Crash 3 had water levels anyway, and then that game did everything Crash 3 was doing, so it had a lot slower water levels, and this submarine thing, and it was pretty slow and pretty tedious, and it sucked. And if you were going after 100% completion, it sucked even more because you didn't want to get hit, and that sucked. I hated that. So this is better. Ever play Mega Man Legends 2, and you have to go into the water dungeons, and Mega Man is just, like, Sonic's pretty slow underwater here, but Mega Man is just so slow, and he takes forever for him to get anywhere, and it's just the worst thing ever, and that sucked so much. I think that is probably the worst water level in a game I've ever played, so yeah, Labyrinth, not the worst thing ever. I don't think it's like, Labyrinth Zone, oh my god, this is just like top 10 worst levels in gaming, period. It's okay. But yeah, I actually haven't commented on the background of the special stages, or like, these are like birds, and sometimes they're like fish in the background. Like, what acid trip were they on when they were making these? Like, there you see the fish if you notice them. And yeah, there you go. Now I have 5 Chaos Emeralds. I only need 1 more to get the good ending of the game, so here's hoping I get it. And we're in Labyrinth Zone Act 3, and as I said before, the Act 3s are generally slower than the Act 2s and Act 1s, or not slower, smaller rather, sorry. By the way, this opening segment right here is a loop. Like, I jump off here to hit the switch, so I open a waterfall, but I'm gonna show off right now that it keeps looping. If you don't hit that switch that I just hit, I'm just gonna keep falling, and falling, and falling, and falling forever, so, you know, hit the switch, and jump into that waterfall that, I'm trying to jump into, but I keep missing it, so, jump in. There we go. And jump through the waterfall, and there we go. I can keep going with the level right now. Yeah. I would actually, a piece of advice for this level, try your best to keep the shield and collect as many rings as you can. Because I mentioned this earlier, but at the end of this level, I got hit. At the end of this level is the boss, and the boss is kind of annoying because, well, we'll see when we get to the boss, but like right here, I miss all my rings and I don't pick them back up. And I'm at the end of the level, by the way. I'm near the end. There are no rings past this point, so I'm going into the boss fight without any rings. And it sucks, but I'll comment on that in a second. This is a pretty unique section. Make sure you don't hit the spikes. So you just push the jump button whenever you want to let go of the bar. So, you know, move yourself to where you don't hit the spikes. And I think, by the way, the spikes are instant kill, because I had 0 rings, but even if I did have rings, I think the spikes would kill me anyway instantly, because you just run into them once, and you know, you just keep running into them because you can't move Sonic out of the way. He's not gonna like move back if you hit him or anything. So you're gonna run into them, get hit, run into them again, lose your rings. And by the way, I haven't commented on this, but this game has a pretty nasty glitch where if you're on spikes and you get hit by spikes, and then Sonic just gets knocked backwards, right? You get knocked back, and if you land on spikes again, usually you have instability frames where you kind of keep flickering in and out so nothing can hit you. But on spikes, if you get hit on spikes, fall back, and then land on spikes again, you're gonna like instantly die. You don't get invincibility frames for that, so careful. You can actually encounter that as soon as Green Hill Zone, so careful with that. They fixed that in future games, but for Sonic 1, yeah, it's kind of treacherous, so careful. Anyway, this is the last climb before the boss fight. You just keep climbing up, and the boss is going to be at the end of this, and it's a pretty unique boss. If I'm going to give it credit for something, it's unique. Like, it's the only boss of its kind in this game. Because usually, again, the first 3 zones, we just hit Eggman 8 times, and then we're done. But this time, no, Eggman's actually running away, and we just chase him. And we don't, like, have to hit him or anything. By the way, careful, because you're gonna die. But, anyway, let's do that again. Oh, damn. And die. My test playthrough, I actually got a game over. Like, I had, like, again, 6, 8 lives, and I just lost them all because you want to platform quickly because the water's behind you, and you don't have any rings, so you can only get hit once because there's only one shield on the path up there. But you want to platform quickly because you don't want to get hit by the or not. You don't want the water to catch up to you, but you don't want to get hit by the stuff. So you gotta wait, but then you gotta move quickly because if the water catches up, you could drown. But at the same time, you're pretty slow as well, so it's not that fun. It's a pretty dangerous boss fight. Like right here, I'm just waiting for it, but I don't want the water to catch up. So just wait, move quickly when you can. But the water's behind me, like, yeah, there it is. So I'm kind of like, I don't want. Oh crap! The water! Oh damn it! And yeah, you see, the water gives you jumps. The water just messes you up. And now I'm just pretty nervous because, you know what? I'm gonna drown, but I gotta be careful here because I don't want to die. But it's not too long, so I guess, you know, credit for that, if nothing else. But yeah, I guess it's kind of fun, but it can be pretty frustrating. But we just freed all the animals in Labyrinth Zone, everybody, so hooray! Come back next part. See you then.